Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. Today we're opening this pack of 1987 Donruss. We have not opened one of these packs in a while. There are possibly some really solid Hall of Famers. This is one of our favorite junk wax sets, including Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Barry Larkin, Greg Maddux is in there possibly. So there's Barry Bonds too, possible Hall of Fame. Or obviously Barry Bonds not in the Hall of Fame, but a great player nonetheless. So let's see what we got. First one is Tommy Herr. This is a good era for the Cardinals. They are in the World Series. They are your 1987 National League champions that they lose to the Twins. Speaking of losing to the Twins, Diamond Kings, Kirby Puckett. What a great picture that is. The Diamond Kings cards are just so wonderful from this era. What a wonderful addition they were to the Donruss stable. And Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer, can't go wrong against star of both of the World Championship teams, 87, 91. Unfortunately, his life was cut too short. But there we go. So now we're gonna do. This is our first break that we've really done with this new setup. So Kirby's gonna go right there. There's Joe Niekro, knuckleballer, brother of Hall of Famer Phil Niekro, who had a good long career in his own right. Great player for sure. You know what, I'm going to move Kirby up so that he's resting there so we see all of the card instead of it just being in that kind of slit at the back there. All right. Tony Phillips, the late Tony Phillips, was a outstanding second baseman and also an outfielder with the A's. I think he was on the championship team in 1989. And then also spent some time with the Tigers. He was one of those guys that could just kind of do everything. He was a very good defensive player. He could put the bat on the ball, could hit for power occasionally, steal bases. Really good player. And unfortunately, he passed away too young. John Mark Bailey. John Mark Bailey. There you go. Catcher for the Astros. There you go. Jesse Barfield was an outstanding outfielder, great throwing arm from the outfield for the Blue Jays during this era where they're starting to get a little bit better. He also spent some time with the Yankees as well, and he had, I believe, two sons that were in the game. Mariano Duncan, look at that. That's a great picture right there. You see the bunting. I feel like he's bunting the bottom half of the baseball there, which isn't necessarily the best technique. But I love to see that. You love that. I love that picture. I love that look on his face also, where he's getting the bat on the ball. Mario Duncan was a nice shortstop. Also spent time with the Phillies as well, and a pretty good ball player. All right. There's Storm Davis, who ended up being a pitching coach for quite a while. Gary Pettis, fast guy, Angels. Also spent, I believe, some time with the Rangers. Was a coach for many years. All right, another Hall of Famer, Lee Smith, one of the greats, great closer, one of the all-time great closers, just a monster, a huge man. Years with the Cubs, was traded to the Red Sox eventually. Also played with the Cardinals a bit. I think he was even with the Yankees for a little while too. Huge, physically imposing presence on the mound, and many years as a great closer, and earned his way into the Hall of Fame. So nice to get a nice Hall of Fame, nice Hall of Famer there in Lee Smith. All right, Dan Quisenberry, who was as you see there, with the arm angle, a submarine pitcher, a closer, and was a part of the Royals World Championship team in 1985. Years as the closer, and unfortunately, he also somebody that passed away too young. But that's a great set the '87 Donruss set is. That's such a great look there of his pitching delivery motion. It's Tom Browning. Lefty pitcher for the Reds. Unfortunately, he broke his arm throwing a pitch, and he was never quite the same. But claim to fame for Tom Browning is he threw a perfect game. One of the very short list of players in the history of baseball to throw a perfect game, and Tom Browning is one of them. George Brett. Happy birthday to George Brett. Had another recent birthday, and another great Diamond Kings card there of the great George Brett. I feel like I've talked a lot about George Brett on the channel, but just it's always a joy to open one of these packs and get one of his. He's like truly one of the junk wax kings, if we're being honest. Ron Oyster was a good second baseman, and he went on to be a coach as well later on. There is Bob Stanley, Stanley Steamer from Maine. Many years with the Red Sox, still one of the all-time leaders with the Red Sox in terms of the innings pitched and strikeouts and all those kinds of things. Wore a bunch of different hats. We don't need to talk about Game 6 of '86. And then speaking of Boston, there's Steve Balboni, one of the great, really great hitters, fun guy, and he was a Boston guy, and spent years he was with the Yankees for a little bit. Royals, there you see, he hit 36 home runs in 1985. Was a member, I believe, was the sort of primary, I guess probably must have been the primary first baseman on your 1985 World Champion Royals, and one of the most prolific home run hitters in minor league history with Yankees Farms, 79 to 83, and yeah, just a Massachusetts guy, one of the better players to come out of Massachusetts in that era. And then the puzzle piece, this is for a Clemente puzzle, and we had pulled, I believe it was sort of the face of Clemente in a previous video. So, all right, so why don't we put George Brett in the middle there, and then once again, nice skits of Lee Smith and Kirby Puckett as well. Let's stand Kirby up there. So very, very good. 3 Hall of Famers in this pack of 87 Donruss. None of the big rookies, but we'll take this nonetheless. So that's going to do it for this edition of Wax Pack Wisdom. Tell us what you thought of this break. What's your favorite card we pulled today? Do you have a story about one of the players in this pack? Leave us a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you can find links to where you can follow Wax Pack Wisdom on all social media channels. You'll also find a link to a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. If you enjoy this video, please consider a donation to one of those organizations. It would mean a lot to us. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.